All right, welcome back to House of Prep. My name's Jerry. I live just outside of Nashville here in Tennessee. And what we do on Thursdays is jump in the comments, throw an update of your area. You can talk about gas prices, food costs going up, sometimes shrinkflation, products that are being shrunk by companies to save money, but yet charging the same, if not more money for that same product, or whatever success, or maybe a prepping success or a new milestone that you've reached. But jump in the comments. It's time to share some information. Throw maybe the state that you're in. It's kind of nice to go back and then come back at a later time and read everybody's comments and kind of see what's going on out there. And I'll talk about my store shopping experience here in just a few minutes. But man, look at those gas prices, right? Now I'm hoping that the gas prices slow down and stop. I hope they start peaking and then eventually start working their way back down. Some things are going to have to happen before that takes place. But $4.29. I did a video not too long ago talking about our gas prices. They were, I think, peaking around $3.99, then $4.09, and then now up to $4.29. So $4.29. I can't believe it. So it's getting expensive. But the thumbnail of my video here showed the Gatorade section and the sports drinks and such. That had been an off and on problem for a long time. It had gotten better, but it looks like it's kind of headed right back to where we were this past year. And I noticed all the large cases, you'll see them on the bottom of the screen, that there are still the large cases left. So it's not like they're totally out. But they're approaching that, and that's usually the last things to get bought up are the cases. So then I started thinking, well, what about my Diet Pepsis? Because you know me, I got to have my Diet Pepsi in the morning. That's my coffee. And so I always try to keep stocked up on that. And even the soda section is starting to look low again, and not quite sure what's going on. Maybe if you all have heard something, jump in the comments, let me know. But I did have some. There was enough I could get some to stay stocked up. And it's those little things, the little things that we like, our everyday addictions, the things that we use and that we add to our lifestyle. Not something I have to use to survive on. However, it is something I enjoy. So going around the store in general, I noticed the chicken. I almost put that as the thumbnail. The fresh chicken, the chicken breasts. It's usually $1.99 a pound. And that's probably why it was sold out. It's gone. Normally, I'm lucky. There's always 1 or 2 packs left at the worst case scenario. Today, however, wiped clean. No fresh chicken breasts. Frozen had been an issue these last few weeks, trying to buy stuff frozen in the big bags. They did have thighs. They actually had a couple packs of chicken wings, surprisingly enough. And they had the drumsticks and things like that. Some of the assorted packs, but not the big, long flats of the chicken breast. However, I've been staying well stocked. If you remember about a week or so ago, I did a video, Stock Your Freezers Now. So I did that. I bought extra chicken breast while it was available, and I wrapped it up, put it in freezer bags, stocked my freezer up. I'm good to go. And I know some of you are not wanting to put anything in your freezer. You've been worried about an EMP attack and all that stuff, and that's okay. To each their own. I'm not. I'm business as usual. I'm just going to continue my prepping. Whatever happens in this world happens. It's insurance. If I end up having to throw a little bit of food away before I could cook it or give it to a neighbor or something, well, that was insurance. You can't predict if our big SHTF situation will be an EMP. You can't predict that. It could be something else. And then thank God that I have my freezer stocked. So those are just ideas. Now, everyone has a different technique to your prepping, and that's okay. We're all unique. We're like a fruit cake, and I'm the nuts. I am nuts if you think about it. And I'm a Buckeye fan. That makes me nuts. But so back to prepping. So we're all different. We're all unique, and it's like a melting pot. People have different opinions, different emotions and different thought patterns and different reactions to situations. So the way that you prep can fluctuate. Now, just because you do things a certain way, that doesn't mean you're handcuffed that I have to continue prepping this way because that's how I've always done it. Sometimes learn to adapt. Some people had some great suggestions and opinions this last week of why they don't want to prep that way or why they like to prep a certain way better. And we talk about that with cans versus jars, like canning your own food and versus freeze-dried food. Things have different costs. Things have different time value. Sometimes our time is valuable. If we work long work hours, we have families, we have things, obligations and things that we have to do. Sometimes you got to spend maybe a little bit more money for the convenience of something that's already canned or already freeze-dried or packaged in order to still reach your prepping goals. Now, look, there's nothing wrong with any of those items. If that's your thing and you can afford to do a certain way, or you have the free time to invest and put into those certain things, those are great. But that's why we share all these things. That's why we jump in the comments and we give our ideas and your opinions. And I jump here on YouTube and I like to give you kind of my lifestyle and my patterns and what I like to prep. And we talk about these things because you don't know who's going to be reading the comments or coming back and watching the video, who's going to learn something. And maybe it's something they're going to realize, a light bulb will kick on. Oh, I've been doing this wrong. It doesn't fit me. However, I just read this person's comments and I like that. And I think I'm going to start focusing more on that. And it changes their whole life pattern of the way that they prep. So there's nothing wrong with that. With everything going on in the world, like, just don't lose sight of prepping. With all the price increases, whether it's fuel or food or water or whatever it is across the board, look, even at-home bills are going up. I've been watching our cell phone bill. It started to creep up just out of the blue. It's been consistent for years. And all of a sudden, they're tacking on some more, raising prices. DirecTV prices going up. If you have cable, prices are going up. Heating bill going up. Everything around us is increasing. And you have to learn to adapt to that. Not to get frustrated, not to get angry. Sometimes you might have to eliminate something. You might have to cut back on some things and shift that money around and divert that cash over to something else. But one thing that we're always going to still have to have is food. And you're still going to have to, maybe now you're not buying as much of the junk food, right? Not those double stuffed Oreos. I've had to put those away for a little bit and divert that money into, chicken breast and some more proteins and things like that. But that's what you do. You just learn to kind of take something from over here and shift it over here, and we keep moving forward. But look, I understand some people are on fixed incomes. And right now, look, I'm sorry, I feel bad for you. The way the life's going right now and things are going up, and if you're on a fixed income, I know it can be rough. And trying to adjust, sometimes it's easier said than done. And you're looking like, Mr. Jerry, I don't know if I'm going to be able to adjust this, but we do the best we can. Now, I know there's still food banks out there. There's churches. There's places that do have donations and things that they can assist if you start running short, especially with food items and clothing items and such. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid to go out and tap into some of those resources. That's what they're there for. They're there to help and to assist people when they're time of need. And right now, throughout our world, there's definitely a lot of need out there. A lot of people that are in that time of need. So again, real quick before I get off, if you like to shop Amazon, if you shop through one of my links on my video description down below, and you just go, whether it pulls up, a little portable fan or a propane hose attachment, whatever I've got down there, just do your normal shopping. Once you pull up my link and just hit the search button, do your normal shopping, and I get credit for it. People sometimes say, hey, Jerry, do you see my personal information? Like, my credit card and my names and all this stuff. I do not. Amazon just gives me a percentage. It's a small percentage, but it adds up over time, over the course of a year. But it does help the channel, the House of Prep channel, and it kind of keeps things moving along. So it's something that you can do that's free. You can do that. You can hit the thumbs up button, and, you can subscribe to the channel. Those are all different ways. And there's a membership thing and all that. But whatever there's free things to do. So I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. And that's it for today. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and I'll catch you later.